Howdy folks, weekend shave. I'm going to start with the shaver over here, warming up in my, I have a warm mug here that I keep my razor in to warm it up a little bit before I get started. Here's today's shaver. This comes in weighing in at about just over 4 ounces. I think it's 119 grams, but as you can see, this is not one of your shorter safety razors by any means. Matter of fact, help with a comparison. There we go. Get these lined up. This one here is the R41. Pretty nice looking shaver. But today I'm shaving with this one here, Edwin Jagger. This one's been on my ooh and ah list for quite some time. Got a feather blade in it. Soap of the day. This is Stirling's Pharaoh's Dreamsicle. Going to follow it up with some Fine Aftershave. Got my alum block complete with rubber band. Witch hazel with aloe. This is one nice looking shaver. Almost got the one that was chrome all the way across. Almost. I was really close. I've already put a hot towel to the face. Speaking of towels, I've got one down here. Help keep my hands dry. Put the hot towel to the face and put the bloom water to the face already. Re-wet the face here and got the shaving cream whipped up here. This is an ever-ready brush that was reworked by Frank at Strike Gold Shave. Oh, it's a ever-ready 150W. Sorry. There it is. Tell you what, this knot had no problem whipping up the lather this morning. Oh, by the way, that Edwin Jagger razor, yeah, I've already put the box up. In other words, you know how you have the DE89 with numbers and letters and that after it? I'll put it in the notes down below. It's something similar to that, except for I think there's 1 letter, 4 numbers, and maybe a couple other letters. I can't remember these model numbers. I kind of like the one where they came up with Kelvin. Yeah, I can remember that. Model number, yeah, I'm usually not too whoopee on that. Alright, here it goes. This will be the first pass with the grain. It comes with a package of 5 feather blades. I have to say that you can kind of feel the blade, but nothing dramatic by any means. I know they used to package their razors with derby blades, looking for that mild shave. I don't know. So far, what little I have shaved off already, I have to say the feather feels just fine. Next weekend I'll shave with the R41. Yeah, I like the weight of this handle. I think I finally found the verbiage that I've been looking for because you know it's a lot of times, you know, you're speaking and referring to folks that shave with a cartridge razor, and a lot of times it's mentioned about not using any pressure, and I think I finally seen the verbiage that I kind of like to go with, because I don't think, you know, we're not trying to say no pressure, but I think what we're actually trying to say is gentle pressure, because the pressure you use with a cartridge versus one of these razors, there is a difference. So you want to use gentle pressure with these kind of razors, double-edged safety razors. Just gentle pressure. In other words, enough to keep it on your face, but not to have it skipping, but not so much that it's digging into your skin either. And even with the safety razor, they do mention some of the instructions I was reading that you want to you may need to do a fair amount of stretching. It just depends on your skin. If you're a younger person, you may not have to stretch as much as an older one like me. Boy, this Dreamsicle, I can definitely, man, smells good. My nose is cleared up, even though it still only works part of the time, but I can breathe through my nose now, and makes it a lot easier to talk and shave at the same time. I do mix my my lather up a little on the wet side. It's just my preference after starting with the shavette. I kind of felt like that was a better mixture for me. Some might refer to as moist, wet, just not quite as thick as I used to when I first started out. First started out, of course, I was only with the DE shaver. Now I've got shavettes, straight razors, single edges, enjoying the journey. It's fun. Don't see very many posts with a shaver like this, and it probably has a lot to do with the size of the handle, but if you're looking for a longer handle, a bigger handle, this is the one for you. There is a little bit of feedback, not a whole lot. Even with the feather blade though, this is still a very smooth shave. It's a good combination. I guess you might say I went with the manufacturer's suggestion by using the blades they sent with it. I definitely like the weight of this blade, the razor, Blade's got me going. It is really, you know how, sorry, excuse me. Sometimes in other razors when you use a feather, that first shave doesn't feel so great. This one here feels just fine right out of the gate. It's really nice. I think I've already found the blade combination for this razor. The weight of this razor going across my beard, it just goes right on through it. Of course it helps to have a good soap too, but this is going to be a good shave today. Next week, starting on Monday, today is Sunday for me, I followed a suggestion from one of my YouTube viewers. Stella Blade mentioned on one of my my shavettes about even though it may not be designed for a feather professional Arts Club blade, that one would fit in there. Showed me the thread and whatnot through the forum, and I'm going to give it a try on Monday. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a moment. I have been on some of my other shavettes experimenting using a Persona mini hair shaper blade in there that normally take like either a half of a DE blade or a pre-cut half DE blade. Even though the shavette that I was working with wasn't exactly designed to take one of those, but it fit up in there. You'd have to be very careful on both of these, because since they're not designed for that, you have to be mindful of getting it lined up correctly. But the blade stayed in there without a problem. It's a good shave today. Really surprised. I don't know. I know I have some razors from Parker. One in particular that comes close to weighing this much, but I don't think it weighs quite this much. And it just makes short work of the beard. Really surprised. I was expecting a good shave, yes, but I didn't think it was going to turn out quite so smooth with a feather blade. I kind of felt like you'd feel a little bit more of a bite of the blade, and I didn't get that. In other words, I didn't really notice that it was a feather blade. You know, usually I shave with a feather blade, you know it. This one here, it still turned out to be a really smooth shave. I do have a DE89 I haven't used in a while. It's the smooth chrome handle. It's one of the first razors I bought when I started. It's a nice shaver, no doubt. But as you go through your journey trying different blades and razors and whatnot, since I already knew what I was getting from it, I don't shave with it quite as often. May have to go back and revisit it now. Got the alum block here. Just going to see how well it did turn out. I know yesterday's shave was with the Gem Micromatic Flying Wing, the bullet tip. Only had one spot that had any stinging. I really enjoyed those razors. I think sometimes it just takes a moment for somebody to get used to the razor, get to learn it, know it, and you get better shaves out of it. Know when to use a blade for X amount of times and then when to stop using it. I kind of look at it nowadays that as inexpensive these blades are, I don't stretch them too far anymore. If I'm trying to find out how many, I do, of course, but after that, though, I'm interested in a smooth, comfortable shave, so I don't stretch them, except for, I guess you might say, my test run. Just got one part down here, which is not unusual to get some stinging down here. Still a great shave. I mean, look at that. I got no weepers, no cuts, no nicks, no blood. Now, the R41. Related to a vampire, maybe. That one will be interesting. Matter of fact, this feather blade, I'll put it in the R41, so Guess you might say I'll be living dangerously. But that will be saved for next week. Haven't quite decided just yet with the R41 whether I'll go a full week with it or not. I don't know. Have to give that some thought. And I don't know if I want to stretch that feather blade for 6 or so shaves either. Fine. Like I said, I'm kind of interested in smooth shaves and not that interested in figuring out how many shaves I can get out of a feather blade. Did that a while back. If you really want to stretch them, you can. Feather blade's the only one I really do more than one shave out of them. Rest of them are one and done for the most part. Unless like I said, unless I'm really wanting to stretch it. Don't see much of a need for it. Get my shave head here. This is a very nice looking shaver. This clamp, you can see there's not a pivot pin. This clamp comes completely off. I've already got my Feather Pro blade, and you can kind of see how this bevel is and the length of this. Now typically your DE blade package will do. You can kind of see just on the package alone how big that package lines up. Well, the blade, I don't have one hand here, but the blade, in other words, would stop somewhat short of each end. And with this feather blade, it goes the full length. And I don't know if you can see right there, it's got a pretty good lineup. Wasn't too tough to do. 2 tries. Just took 2 tries to get it lined up just right. Not hard at all. That's for Monday. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Alright, once again, shaver of the day with a feather blade. First time using it. Edwin Jagger. Like I say, this thing weighs about just over 4 ounces. Stirling Pharaoh's Dreamsicle. Oh, and I'm also going to change up my routine. Here of late, I've been using Vanule's Smoky Mountain whiskey beard oil. Today, with the Dreamsicle, I'm going to use Stirling's Orange here. Now, this one here, it's a beard oil, but it also can be used as a pre-shave. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Use that off camera. Hope everybody is doing well, having smooth shaves, and see you next time. Thank you.